And what makes it so annoying to me is that men hold the power to not be nothing. But there will always be a woman with open arms. Like,
Can't stand men. You don't like men that you don't like, but you like men that most likely don't want you.
Don't ask what value Nike brings to our life because it's a brand that has a reputation of being good.
It was a 40-year-old man, and he told me once you turn 30, nobody's gonna want you anymore. Mind you, I was 21 when he was telling me this.
In the wall was a very real thing. I never argued with Kevin Samuels about that. You really don't have no options, right? And so now you're met with the wall. I wanted to be treated I didn't want. That's just the honest truth, right? And if more people would just be honest about the fact that they have met good people, they have met solid people who would have been great partners in a relationship, but for whatever reason, it was just something about that person you just couldn't get with, and that's the reason why you didn't move forward. Most of us have met good people. That's what y'all really need to start talking more about online instead of who don't do what and what you can't get. You've met good people. Stop it. All right. And if you haven't, it's definitely something wrong with you. It's definitely something wrong with you. You are the problem if you've never met a good man. You've never met a good woman. You just didn't want them. You just didn't want them. Just keep it a buck. You just didn't want them. And for whatever reason it was that you didn't want them is your business, but you didn't want them, but you did meet them. You did. Stop it. Right? Like, I never get jealous when I see women get online and show the stuff that they man doing for them, because I look at said man and I know if I was put in the position for said man, I wouldn't have wanted him. I wouldn't have wanted him. So it's no way for me to be jealous of what he's doing when I know that I would have passed on him. I would have passed on him. And that's just the truth. Most of the time, the people who gonna treat you right, you just don't be wanting them. And I don't know what it is to that, but that's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm not exempt from it. I'm sure some men who done met me and they was like, dang, she's such a dope girl, da 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 da. But if for whatever reason they didn't like me, it is what it is. That's life. But we got to stop sitting up here and acting like you never met good people. All right? You never met a good man, never met a good one. Yeah, you did. You just didn't want them. Hitting the wall was a very real thing. I never argued with Kevin Samuels about that. Because the reality is the older you get, the worse your options get. So by the time you get to said age and you look around and you realize what you're left with to choose from, and you realize it is either going to be you dealing with somebody who you don't find to be attractive, somebody who come with a bunch of baggage, who got a bunch of problems, divorcees, bunch of kids.
See, you know what the issue is with ladies, right? They place value. Because I'll be honest, Dana, she's around 37, right? But ladies, they place value on their age that they are now, not thinking they're close by the point of no return. And they don't realize it, right? Because after this video, I'm going to show another girl who doesn't realize it. But that's what happens to ladies. And they end up in that same cycle, right? You end up in a wash cycle of a lady that's 45, 50. The wrinkles start coming in. What men are talking about, that's hitting the wall. A lot of ladies will not be there, right? But that makeup, that fake up, when it's not on, it exposes. And that's when hearts break. And I'll be honest, men don't want to see that for you, but I understand how it is. Like when she explained, sometimes you don't want the girl. I've been in that situation, but it's different when you're trying to get with guys that are Adonises, right? 6'5", 6'4", look like a chiseled monster. And what's going to happen is those guys get any girl they want. So those guys, their date market is supermodels. So even she's honest. She said, they very well may not want me. So true. So what happens? Ladies end up only for the long haul.
You realize you're dealing with somebody who they never got it together throughout their life, so they still don't have nowhere to stay. They still not financially stable, still jumping from job to job if they even got a job. You just realize you really don't have no options, right? And so now you're met with the wall. Right? And either you get to choose at that wall if you're going to settle or you're going to just go ahead and hit it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. I'm hitting the wall.
That's what a lot of ladies are doomed for.
Before. It was a 40-year-old man, and he told me once you turn 30, nobody's gonna want you anymore. Mind you,
This is when it
I was
starts.
21 when he was telling me this. And he said once you turn 30, nobody's gonna want you anymore, and that women age like milk. And in that same breath, he said if a man ever messes up with you, you shouldn't immediately leave him. You should give him some time. So my question was, if I start dating at 20, why would I stay with a man for 3, 4, 5 years and up? Wouldn't that waste the 10 years that I got to date until everybody kicks me to the curb? Mind you, that man looked like a pregnant caterpillar. I swear to God, that had to be the dumbest man I've ever talked to in my life. And that man was 40 with 2 daughters and was in the way of getting divorced.
That's the major issue, right? What happens with ladies, I doubt that a co-worker said nobody's gonna want you, right? Because guys, they'll want a girl. Like, say, even when they're 40, guys will still want them, right? But this is what she may not realize. Or he could have said it and she don't remember. But that's the age of epiphany age at 30. Men are still going to want you. But the better time for you to have kids is in your younger years, right? Back then, somebody would lock down a man, get married, because the best time to have kids is in your younger years. What's happening nowadays, girls are playing catch up. And I feel bad about it because so many are struggling because of it, right? Where they go, oh, I can put that to the side all for a career. It's sad what's happening nowadays.
Basically saying it's not that I'm that great of a guy, even though he believes he was attractive, but it's just that the dating pool with the men right now here are trash. I actually had a friend tell me directly that it's so easy for him to get a woman to want to be with him just by being a decent guy and treating her like a human, simply because the men that women are dating are so bad that when they come across a decent guy, they want to hold on to him. Notice how the men saying this didn't put the blame on the women, but they put the blame on the men.
No, it's not on the men. And I don't know you. Maybe you're just saying that because men know, right? Or it could be one of those guys who don't understand what's happening in society, right? Because you look at this video alone, look at the first person. Dana Dane knows, she knows, you still don't know, right? That's the issue. You still don't realize what ladies are doing is they're choosing unwisely. We're at the point now where y'all should have followed what happened in the olden days. But we're here and this is what's happening. And we're dealing with the headache, right? We're dealing with the headache. And this is why guys aren't choosing in the West. This is exactly why I left. There was no hope. I didn't see it.
Though they believe they are good guys, they are just treating women that they're dating as decent human beings. And just by being a decent, not phenomenal, not grandiose, not great boyfriend, partner, whatever, treating a woman with basic bare minimum respect gets them more play than they anticipated, simply because they don't treat women like the bottom of their shoe. They don't treat women like they hate them. They treat those women that they're engaging with like they care about their well-being as people. I think the men don't believe women when they speak on their dating experiences out here. So when other men who are decent human beings talk about dating women and how much play they get just by being decent individuals, it let them know that not only are the women not lying about their experiences, the ratio of decent men to terrible men is very, very low. If y'all don't hear it and take it from a woman, maybe y'all will hear it and take it from a man.
I don't buy that because that man didn't get on here and say it himself. right? And a lot of times guys do that. They're panda bearing because we all know what happened. Most of you ladies chose the bear. But no, on a serious note, right? What's happening is you seem to not realize. If he said that, he seems to not realize what's really happening. The modern woman brain is what? I said all the time. Switched off. Anything traditional, switched off. Being a female, switched off.
I'm not listening.
And men are looking for something feminine and delicate. Not you. Not you per se, but y'all.
They're all collectively agreeing that the dating pool is very terrible for women specifically. I made a video talking about this already, and I was right. I made a video referencing another video that was made by a man saying that it's very easy for him to get play because men set the standard so low for women that just being a decent person, a decent human, treating women like people, gets him mad attention. And in the comments of that video, the men agree. There are some men who are mad because they're probably the ones who aren't getting the woman or they're not getting any play. But there are so many men who agreed in that video that just doing basic stuff, just being a decent person, gets them so much attention and gets them a lot of emotion. I had a guy say that bringing flowers on the first date got him mad praise. Other guy said just talking to a woman and being considerate and thoughtful and checking on her mental health gets him a lot of attention. Another guy said that he's not even dating right now, but every time he checks the pool, it's very easy for him to get like a roster because other men set the bar so low. Another man said, please go read the comments in my last video, that it's very easy to just get a woman or
It's easy because men aren't talking. She doesn't understand what's happening in the date market. Men have given up. Men are saying no more. It's like everybody's in La La Land. Seriously. Right? Because you got people that sit around and say, oh, don't believe what's happening on the internet. No, these things are happening in real life. Of course. Say if you live in a certain area, maybe in that area, things go down. Like, for instance, if you live in Philadelphia, guys don't mind talking to girls in Philadelphia, right? Especially in the hood. If you go to Queens and the whole New York, guys may not mind as much talking to girls there. But in all the little outer skirts, that dead, and little spots and pockets, dead. You have to understand, men have given up.
To date women just because other men make it so easy to outdo them by them simply not doing the bare minimum. So what have we learned today here, folks? It's funny because the naysayers in that video were saying that I was making it up or I made the video up, whatever they were saying. But there is a solid group, numerous comments of men saying they have the same experience as well. So, who's making it up? Me? The other men who equally agree that it's easy for them to get play? Or are you just not getting any of the play?
Yeah. See, I feel like she's talking to me, but I married a lady that's willing to do everything, right? And I'm willing to do everything for her. See, what's happened is the old school way is a lost art. It's a dying cause. And men aren't going for it. That's why so many men ask, what do you bring to the table? Right? I gotta play this video. Watch this.
So I unblocked him and I talked to him and I said, like, I don't like that you said, like, what do I bring to the table? And the reason why is because if you don't see what all value I bring to the table, if any at all, then that means that you don't see me as someone that's worth it or valuable to you. And it's funny because I recently saw a TikTok of another guy talking about this where he says, like, when guys buy, like, Nike shoes, like, they don't get the Nike shoes and bring it to the register and say, like, what value do these shoes bring to my life? Like, why should I buy these right now? You know, they don't ask.
No, we don't ask what value Nike brings to our life because Nike is an established brand that has a reputation of being good quality at a decent price. Brother, we don't know y'all. When we are going on a date and we ask, what value do you bring to the table? It's not supposed to be an offensive question. We don't know you.
Real talk.
We're trying to figure that out. For you to compare yourself to Nike would mean that he should already know what value you bring based on your reputation. But if we don't know you, how are we supposed to know that? This goes back to like women thinking mind readers. Like, if it's a first date and we ask, okay, if your expectations are I pay for everything, what are you gonna do in the relationship? That's all I'm asking. Why is that such a hard question to answer? Like, it's actually insane to me that y'all get so butthurt over that question, because you literally ask every single man you go on a date with the exact same question. What's your income? Are you gonna protect me? All these questions that you're asking men on dates are, what are you bringing to the relationship? But we're not allowed to ask the same question? And y'all wonder why we've given up on dating.
About how thirsty some of you ladies are in these TikTok comments. No, seriously, you ever seen an obvious thirst trap from a man? He has his shirt off, he talking low. It's obvious that he's like fishing. And the women in the comments,
The thirst is real. See, you have one or two try to slip in there and make it seem like, oh, guys are getting girls. You guys should be going to get. No. You think you can go and change what's happening? Stop it. Get some help.
like, oh my God, Lord, oh my God, what a weird way to propose. Oh my God, like having that little picture where it looks like the woman has, that she's erect, posting like those memes, like just that is just the thirstiest, unladylike thing I've ever seen in my life, and I see it so bad on TikTok more than I've seen it on any other app. Like, these men are literally like using you all. Like, you're feeding right into it. Like, these are the same type of men that'll mess with all of y'all, that won't claim anybody or won't mess with you at all. And is
Yeah, the 6'4" chisel dudes. Yeah. Everybody gets them.
just,
Literally.
doing it to get paid. And mind you, you all are the same women that say you don't like men, you can't stand men. You don't like men that you don't like, but you like men that most likely don't want you. Men that fit the bill of what you feel like you want, but you know you can't have. Because real men, they don't thirst trap. And I've encountered some fine men. They don't thirst trap. And no matter how fine a man is, you're finer. We don't do that. We don't lust over men in comments. Like, what type of world are we living in? You will never catch me in a man's comment section saying all kind of obscenities and all kind of things. Mind you, he don't even know who you are. A lot of you women, and it happens on the lives too. I notice that whenever I go live with a male creator that's handsome, they always invite me on the platform. You women are just in there lurking. I'm like, hi, handsome. Where are you from? I've had women sat here and it got mad at me because I was invited up on a handsome man's platform, and they're in the comments. And, a lot of women are cool, but there's a lot of y'all that's like, oh, who is that? And don't worry about me. I'm that woman. I'm the woman that knows her worth, which makes me valuable, which makes me desirable, because I will never, ever be caught in a man's lives or his comments saying little nasty remarks to him or trying to get him to notice me. Y'all talk about pick me behavior. That's the real pick me behavior. Get out of those stand up. You are a grown, beautiful woman. You should be anyway. And if you're elegant, if you're classy, if you know your worth, you will never be in a man's comment section begging for attention.
For these men, y'all are way too desperate. A lot of the reason why y'all are desperate is because you need to heal. It is no reason why it makes no amount sense of why you can't be by yourself. Why you feel like you need male validation. Why you feel like you need to have sex. Why do you feel like you just need attention, or you feel like you're not worthy if you don't have a man calling you, or you don't have a man in your face. You are worth more than that. It's something wrong that you can't be by yourself, that you can't be okay with your own spirit. There's something wrong with that. You don't always need a man. You don't always need to have sex. Matter of fact, you don't need to have sex unless you're married. Y'all are opening y'all legs to these men, and y'all don't even know how they think. You don't know how they process life. You don't know what they believe in. You don't know how they want to raise their kids. You don't know if they go to work. You don't know if they got a job. You don't even know if they got a car. Y'all just jumping in the bed with these men. No conversation, no trying to see how their mind is, no none of that. Just jumping straight into the bed with these men. And y'all are wondering why y'all life is going the way that it is, because you're too desperate. You're way too desperate. Do you not know that you're worthy? Do you not know you are loved and cared for by God? Do you not know that God paid a high price for you? And so you must honor your body to God? You don't know that God loves you? You're God's woman. You're not these dusty men, you're not their woman. You're God's woman. God loves you. God cares about you. You should love yourself and value yourself that much that you're not going to allow yourself to be done any type of way. No matter how much you want a man, if this man is not meeting the standard, I'm not dealing with him. Y'all will know the man ain't the standard and still think, oh, well, maybe I should. No. If a man is not if he does not meet your standards, you do not bring your bar. You don't lower your bar. I don't know who needs to hear that, but stop being desperate and heal. Seek God with your whole heart. He's the first man you need to seek. Heck, he's the only man that died for you. He sent his son to die for you. He died for you. And yet you can't give him your time, but you can give these dusty men your time. This is a problem. Y'all need to heal. You have to stop being desperate. Heal, people. Heal.
Yeah, so there you have it, right? A couple of ladies, and there's tons of them, talking about the desperation games, the Hunger Games, right? It's the Hunger Games out here. Ladies are desperate. It's even to the point where ladies will make up stories because they're so desperate. It's that bad. But it's true, though, what she said, about giving your life to God. But will these ladies really do that? Like, for instance, you can't give your life to Him and be a feminist at the same time. It doesn't make sense, right? It's like you still being in the world. Because think about it. He says to honor your husband, right? Feminism teaches you to honor yourself, self-exalting. Feminism was given by Satanism. When will you ladies wake up? It's really that simple. It's all so simple.
So desperate for love, and it's because we've been fed this dream and this fantasy and this fairy tale that we are supposed to be rescued by our Prince Charming and live in the white picket fence in the house and get married and have the kids, and that's like the life. We've been imagining our wedding since we were kids, young women, like young girls. Like, so when you grow up, that's literally what you're searching for. And what makes it so annoying to me is that men hold the power to not be nothing. But there will always be a woman with open arms. Like the lowest of low men can get a woman. The lowest of low men can get a woman because women are so desperate for love. A man without a job, no problem. I'll pay the bills. You live with your mom, no problem. You can stay over at my house. You drive a beat up, busted truck, no problem. We could just take my car. It's always a way through it. It's like they don't have to work hard because somewhere there's a lonely woman with her arms wide open, waiting for a man.
What men is she talking about? Is she talking about girls that are dating pookies? Because men are not with ladies looking for handouts. Man, these girls with the hood mentalities, talking about girls that's dating pookies. They're having all the babies with the pookies. That's not us.
Of any caliber to run
It's
into
bad.
like somewhere. Like men cannot lose.
So tired of dealing with desperate women and their only thought process.
Go back and watch this young babe's video. You are absolutely 110% correct. There is a desperation out there. Now, in defense of the older women in your family being in their 50s, because I'm in my 50s, I will say that we were taught at a young age that having a man is a flex. It is not saying that the man is the prize, but we were taught to have a good man, it can elevate your life. And so that was instilled in us to be somewhat traditional. However, there are women who were out there, such as my grandmother, who did have her education. So she always instilled to us, as women or girls growing up, being young ladies and then women, to make sure that we have our education, because that's something that no one can take away from you. Have your education and have your own money. So as far as having an ninja, I don't know where that comes from. I think that maybe the pool of men out there is not very good. And so maybe that's why, not giving her any excuses, but I totally agree with you as far as being in pursuit of your education, having your own, and being with a partner that can complement you, meaning...
We're cooked. You hear this conversation? That's what caused what's going on now. We're cooked.
For example, if you're making $100,000 a year and
well, you guys are not cooked because a lot of you guys are making the right choice.
he's making 100 or close to, then you're having someone that's equivalent to you, so that you can build upon that. But I don't know. It sounds like they're making very poor choices. I do have some women in my family that appear to be making some poor choices too, that are older. I would just say that, just look at their example and their life and not follow it. Make sure that you get your education. And when you're ready, or if you don't have anyone and you're single, that you strive, to get someone that can help you, because that's what we were taught. Men back in the day were true protectors and providers. And we were taught to get men that can help elevate you. Like my husband, for example, I always praise him for really supporting me monetarily. We did have some issues as far as emotionally and different things like that when I was pursuing my education, but he was there. He was there for me. And that was a good thing. So just don't be like them is what I'm trying to say. All right.
There you go. So a married lady telling how it used to be. I know, because my mother grew up like that. I saw my whole family grew up like that. But nowadays, ladies don't believe that, right? And it's leading them astray. They ended up lonely, as you see in the beginning of the video, all the way through the middle. It's sad. It saddens me.
Because we was too busy trying to figure out how to pay for lunch. Shut the up, worried about why we didn't go to college.
That would be a really good point if y'all sisters that lived in the same households as y'all and had the same mother.
And I gotta stop it right there, right? Because he said he was saying our daddies are not around. Yeah, that happened with a lot of guys, but a lot of guys didn't grow up in the hood. And watch what she explains. Watch this.
Father as y'all didn't go to college. Like those sisters that lived under those same circumstances still found a way to go to college. The issue is that y'all never intended on going to college. Y'all didn't want to go to college. Y'all were acting up in schools, acting up in the classroom, fully focusing on sports and athletics. You did not.
See, she threw us all black men into one category because of that black man. We got to change the narrative, right? Men are traveling to other countries, changing the narrative, but some are not. Some are throwing men under the bus and they don't realize it, right? But anyway, I want to say this. They're stuck in that old mindset, right? Of, oh, black men struggling, black men this, black men that. That's not true. Most black men are regular citizens. Even the ones in the hood, they're not doing hood things. They're regular citizens. Do you know how many guys I know in the hood that have regular jobs? Regular citizens. We got to change this narrative. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.